Italy started out in the cobblestone streets of Florence with the deep history, old buildings, and beautiful artwork that surrounds the city. We definitely started our trip off with a bang. Hi guys, welcome to my travel diaries. In this week's video, we explore Florence for the first time. I've never been abroad or to Europe, so this was a pretty magical trip for me. It wasn't very long, but we started with Florence, and this is going to be our day one in Florence. We flew from Chicago to Rome. When we landed in Rome, we decided to take the train to Florence, where we would begin our trip. Right when we got there, we headed straight for our B&B, which was beautiful. It was really old with artwork and brick walls, and it was honestly just stunning. The first day in Florence was definitely really relaxing. We just kind of walked around and wandered. We didn't have much planned for this day because it was our travel day. The more fun and planned museums and stuff are within the next couple days. We were only in Florence for 3 days, so we had to make time out of it. But I definitely fell in love with the city and am debating coming back for my abroad, which would be my junior year. So I have a couple options for abroad, but I'm deciding between Florence, Rome, and Paris. I really love Florence and Rome, and I've never been to Paris, so I'm either deciding if I want something familiar or if I want to go somewhere new. If you're going to Florence anytime soon, or just Italy in general, or anywhere that you haven't been, I would really recommend just kind of walking around and seeing where you end up, because there are a million stores and hidden gems in the city that I didn't even know about. I think sometimes as tourists, we can get super caught up in trying to plan everything and never just taking time to enjoy it. And I'm glad that we did take the first day to just kind of wander. Otherwise, I don't think we would have seen things that have always been there, especially just enjoying the views of the old buildings and the artwork on the streets. Really was good for me because, I live in the Midwest and I look out my window and it's literally a cornfield, so getting to see things from other cultures really was a good learning experience. We were pretty hungry, so we changed and we just started to roam around the city. We took many streets to get to the bridge and just enjoyed the views and buildings. It was nice to walk around and just explore, being a complete tourist for the first time. We were pretty hungry, so we stopped at Gusta Pizza, which was pretty touristy, and it was just all right. But for our first meal in Italy, it was pretty good. After that, we decided to walk off the food and just take some more streets and alleyways. It was pretty warm, so we decided to stop at a gelato place that our Airbnb host recommended. I got a raspberry ricotta flavor, which was pretty good. And my dad got pistachio and coffee, which he said the coffee was strong, but the pistachio was really good. By this point, we were pretty tired, but we continued to walk and enjoy the views. We stopped along the way to take some photos. And decided to take a break and have some Prosecco right by the bridge over the water. We stopped at First Class, which is a wine tasting experience, but we just had some Prosecco. Going into this Italy trip, I didn't really know what to expect. I was really excited and I did a ton of research, but I was nervous on everything that could happen. I've never been out of the country and I have food allergies, so food definitely scared me, but honestly, a lot of places were accommodating. Almost every place we went to on their menu, they listed what allergens were in each dish, which was really helpful because I didn't have to ask or just assume. All the food we had was amazing. I don't think there was one thing that we had that was like, all right, this is okay, except for the very first pizza we had. We enjoyed a few more historical spots in Florence before heading back to our B&B to rest for a little bit and get ready for dinner. I think we both ended up napping before we got ready. And then we went to a pretty popular place. It was Osteria Pastella, if I'm saying that correctly. Sorry if I'm not. I had a steak and potatoes, which was really good, and my dad had some pasta. We were both really tired, and the dinner was like at 9:30, which is pretty late for us, but pretty typical for Italian culture. It was really good. I literally ate every bite. And after that, we just went home and went to sleep and prepared ourselves for the next day in Florence. I'll do kind of a recap in my last Florence video, but overall, the city was just beautiful. Life here is just so much slower than anywhere else I've been. I feel like people are relaxed and just kind of take in everything. No one's really in a rush to get things done. It's not super like busy. And by busy, I don't mean like with people, because obviously there's a lot of people there, a lot of tourists, but like busy in a sense of like New York City busy, where everyone's just kind of on the move, like trying to get somewhere, trying to get something done. It's really such a different lifestyle, which I love, that kind of slower pace, especially living in the city for the past year. It's really made me appreciate certain things that I haven't appreciated with living in the city and living here. Just kind of taking my time and spending more time with myself. I think that's really important. And I might just be digging too deep into this, but I really did love the Italian lifestyle and culture that just surrounds the city. And everywhere we went, it was like, it felt like a whole different vibe. And that's kind of like just like what it reminds me of from going from like home to New York City. Like, it's just a different vibe, even though it's the same country. Like, Rome was a completely different vibe from Florence, same with Positano and the Amalfi Coast. And even like Capri was a different vibe from the Amalfi Coast. I really hope you enjoyed my first part of my travel diaries. If you want to see more, I post videos every Sunday. And if you want to see even more content from me, you can follow me on Instagram at QuincyGrace_. I post almost every day there, or I have been trying to post almost every single day there. So if you want updates on future content or to look at any of my Italian photos, please go follow me there. And see you in next week's video.